Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It is 31 degrees. It's absolutely roasting in my studio. Like, the struggle is real, but we're going to try and get through this tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create aqua tanks using different nail shapes. We're also going to be doing a little bit of experimenting at the end. So if you want to stay around for that, we're going to be trying out some brand new products inside the tank. Okay, so we have 4 styles available. That is a square, then we have stiletto, we have almond, and of course, coffin. So these ones are long. We have size medium on its way. It has the same shapes, but another shape. So there's 5 coming in size medium. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get those. So what we're going to do is we're going to I'm going to show you how to create a tank with each different shape because it is slightly different for each one. So yeah, hopefully this will just make it a little bit easier for you guys. Look how pretty these boxes are. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to use a big size just to show you, to make it a little bit easier. Now, the reason these are my signature nail tips is because of the quality. So we have leveled up to the best quality possible for these. They have a 0.15 cuticle area, so they will just sit here very flush to your cuticle, and you won't need to buff or file or anything like that. They have a 0.75 free edge. They're easy to soak off. They're flexible yet durable. You don't get any better than this, guys. And they come in 14 sizes, including half sizes, which is just what you want. So there we have our coffin. Put that one on there. And then we'll grab an almond. So I'll get the same size for each one. There's the gorgeous almond. Beautiful. So these are made with PMMA, guys, which is not your typical nail tip. Let me show you. Look at that. Which just means the quality is so high. So these are perfect for press-on nails. They are also perfect for soak-off extensions. And they are perfect for, you know what's coming, my aqua nails. So yeah, they just really do it all. Pop that one there. That is our gorgeous square. Look at the C curve on her. Okay, so we have, let me show you. We have our coffin, our almond, our stiletto, and our square. And this is our size long. Soon we will have size medium. Okay, so what we're going to be encapsulating with today is a little bit of an experiment. So I want to have a play with you guys. I want to actually put one of these mirror chromes inside the nail. So we're going to see how that looks. This is my mirror on the wall collection. And this is my Christmas chrome. If you haven't tried these, they are insane. They're true form mirror pigments. If you use them with my glass slipper top coat, be warned, if you do use a different top coat, you may get that kind of glittery effect, which does happen often if you don't use the correct top coat. But yeah, these with glass slipper, you get a real mirror. I think I'm going to go nuts and use candy cane, which is this gorgeous red. I have never encapsulated with this. It doesn't really matter if the outcome is bad. This video is about the tanks. So yeah, what goes in these nails, it doesn't really matter. We're just having a play. So we're going to use candy cane for one of them. For my next one, I'm going to use mistletoe. But what I'm actually going to do is I want to mix that with, let's do a glitter. Let's do Golden Tide. So this is actually because I'm about to paint Thumbelina. And if any of you've watched Thumbelina and you know the scene with the gold dust everywhere, well, I want to create that. So yeah, I want to see how these two work together. So that will be for nail number 2. For nail number 3, for the sake of my Thumbelina nails, I'm going to do Golden Tide on its own. Just so I can compare them and see what they look like and choose which one I want to use for my set. And for the last nail, we're going to be using, what is this? These are my brand new, wait for it, color changing glitters. Oh, these are so fun for the summer. So we have blue raspberry, cool berry, sweet sorbet, cotton candy, peach fizz, and tango mango. So the lid will tell you what color they start with and what color they end up. So this one is kind of a really pale yellowy color. They all kind of have those green flakes in though. And then when you go out in the sunshine, they will change. These are going to be so fun for summer, guys. Can you imagine? Oh, look at that. Magic color changing glitters. I'm sorry, what? I think this one is going to be a firm favorite. I sent them to all of my BAs and we didn't choose which ones to use for our promo videos, but everyone's just gone for this one. I just knew they would. But yeah, like I said, I will be having a swatch video for all of these. So what should we use for our experiment in Aqua nails? Let's do, oh, where's that one there? Get that out. Right, we're not going to do that one because everybody does that one. I think I might do sweet sorbet, you know. So this one is yellow to green. It's kind of like a greeny turquoise. But yeah, what we're testing is how well they change in Aqua. Now, it doesn't matter if they don't work because you can put these in your acrylic. You can also put them like on top of your nail, you know, like on top of gel polish. So yes, there's many other ways to use them, but yeah, we're going to test them in that. Right, so let's get back to our tanks. So we're going to start with our coffin. Now, what you want to do is you want to take one size smaller than the one you have. So I have a 0, 0. So I'm going to take a size 0. Oh, and the reason, oh, got one stuck. So this will stop them sandwiching together. And you've already kind of created a barrier. So it's more just a case of gluing the wall down. You're not really creating a wall. We're just kind of joining them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure these are clean. Now, these gloves that I sell, these nitrile gloves, are really, really, really good for removing nitrile and stuff. It just kind of sticks to them. So I do like to give them a wipe with that. And then what we're going to be using is my Seal It gel. We're going to use this to encapsulate the nail. Now, it is very, very, very hot in here today. I think we are on 33 degrees. We're having a heat wave. So I don't even think I'm going to need to use seabed base gel for any of my encapsulation because this is going to be runnier than normal. If you want it thicker, obviously just pop it in the fridge or whatever. But this is absolutely amazing for sealing the whole nail anyway. It just usually is a bit thicker. So I usually just use it for the ends. I'm also going to be using a brand new coming soon brush. This is my Petal painter. Now this, if you struggle with painting petals and stuff, this is amazing. You just dab and you get the most brilliant petals. But it's also really good for moving this gel product around. Right, so how do I create a coffin tank? So what I actually do now is maybe different to my earlier videos, but I'm learning as well. So I literally just take Seal It gel. Now watch this. I'm going to create an arch on the top, and I'm going to place my nail on top the gel. Can you see how runny that is? Which is not normally that runny. If you guys know my product Seal It gel, it doesn't move. But this is how hot it is, okay? So I'm going to get that in place. Now I like to have it kind of in line. That looks good. And you can see it's not going to sandwich together. These tips are just insane for Aqua nails. So once you're happy with that, you can go ahead and cure. Flash cure just to get it in place. I mean, how easy was that? Seriously? That was so easy. You can see we've got a little hole there. That's absolutely fine. And just like that, you've connected the tank. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the sides. I'm going to use Seal It gel. Normally, this is what I would use seabed base for. But it's so hot here, I just don't even think I need to. So I'm just going to squeeze that along the edge. Now I'm going to take my Petal painter, and I'm just kind of pushing it. I want it to push kind of under that tip. You can even lift the tip and let the gel slide under slightly. It's going to give you a true bond. That way the gel isn't just sat outside, it's actually going through and it's connecting on the other side. So once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and just smooth this product out and go up there. And how easy with that. Now, while I'm here, I might as well just do the top because that's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to take my Seal It gel and I'm really pushing in this area here. You see that? Because my arch broke, I want to make sure that arch is there and it's all connected. Now I can just move my product around. Now I would normally just do the whole nail in one, which I will do on a different nail, but just for this one, because I said we'll make this one easy. You want to cure that. And then, yeah, as you get more confident, you can do the whole thing. You can't really do that with seabed base gel, actually. Let me just be honest, because seabed base gel is runnier. So I truly suggest buying both and playing with both. They are two incredible products. It depends if you like to work fast or slow, but both of them will do the job. So now we're just going to do this wall. Now I want you to look at this area here. See this corner here? I really want to make sure the product goes under this area of the nail. Can you see it popping through? I really want to make sure it doesn't just sit outside like that. Because when we file and buff, we're going to have a hole there. Sometimes, you know, even I think it's fine, I've done it perfect, and I'll still get a hole. So if we do get one in any of these nails, it's fine. I'll show you how to fix it. Now, look at that. How easy was that? How easy was that? I'm just smoothing this out a little bit more because it means less filing and buffing. But if you're unsure, it's better to have more, okay? I'm going to put that in my big lamp now for a full cure. Okay, so as one more step for security, I'm going to take my glass slipper top coat I'm going to turn the nail this way because I don't want to go near that hole. And I'm just going to cover the whole nail. Well, not the whole nail, that's a lie. We don't need to do the middle. You can if you want. But I'm just going to go over the edges and the back. And it's just going to kind of fill in any areas that have kind of dipped. Like that. So we're going to cure that. So while that's curing, I like to take one of my lint-free wipes. And we're actually going to make some kind of little plug sockets. I'm going to just cut this into 4 because we have 4 nails. And let me grab one of my nail stands. So we're just going to kind of fold it. This might be a little bit big. Yeah, it's going to be too big. Quite small. Don't look at my nail scissors, guys, alright? I absolutely trashed my nail scissors. I swear it's doing all my Aqua nail experiments. Okay, I'm just going to plug it like that. Now, the reason I do this is because if I was to fill this tank with liquid and whatever product I want to put inside, and then I file and buff and I have a hole, it's just going to be a big mess, okay? So that is how I create the tank for the coffin nail. I'm going to file these all at the end because it's probably boring. Okay, so next up, we have our beautiful almond. I love almond shape. I think it's just so elegant. It's definitely a shape I would wear. I probably wouldn't have worn them when I was younger, but now I absolutely love them. I really do. So I'm going to, again, take one size smaller. Again, so it doesn't sandwich. So this time it's going to be different. So you remember how when we did the coffin nail, we started with the back end. So what I like to do for almond is take my Seal It gel and I actually do it the opposite end. So I'm going to go in like that. I lost my tip. Oh, there it is. And make sure these are clean. I'm going to place my tip on top like that. Oh, my phone just made me take a 10-minute break because it was too hot. It has to cool down even though I'm inside with 2 fans pointing at me. That is how hot it is. So I did go ahead and cure this just to stop it moving. Because if I waited 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure that the gel would just have gone. So that is how I do my almond shape. Now what I will do is the side walls, the same as I did with the coffin. I'm going to go ahead and do both together. Again, if you're new, I just recommend doing one at a time. If that's, too much of a struggle, which it can be in the beginning, you can even just do a small blob and cure that. See how I'm pushing it? I'm pushing it behind the joint. Especially on these corners because they tend to get filed away quite a bit. And the other side, bringing that gel down. Gorgeous. When I do my super long nails, I like to use Sticky Mickey for the side walls. But for this, it's a little bit more delicate. That's looking really, really good. Again, if you want to give them a little wiggle like that, just to make sure the product seeps underneath, you can. And we're going to flash cure that. Now you can stop there depending on how big you want the hole to be at the top. I think that that's probably too big. I don't need it to be that big to pour glitter in or the liquid. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to kind of bring these corners in a bit. You've got to remember, the bigger the hole is here, the harder it is when you cap later on with your liquid. So we want to make this we want to get as much as possible done now before we even go near the liquid. We really do. I've got some excess there, so I'm just gonna flop it on the end because I know I'm gonna need it. That looks nice and connected. That looks nice. I'm gonna put a little bit more here and there. Okay, I'm gonna pop that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Right, so we're going to do the same again. We're going to go in with glass slipper top coat. And we're just going to go around the sides, the front. Do a nice generous layer. Like that. And don't worry about areas like this because that will all be filed and buffed. Right, we're going to cure that. Look at that one. That one looks messy. But it won't in a minute, I promise. So again, I'm going to encapsulate the hole. This one is actually a wider hole, isn't it? So let's go about there. You don't have to do this, but for me, when I'm filing and buffing, it just helps with the dust that goes inside. It's such a pain to flush out. You've just got to keep like filling it up, rinsing it out, filling it up, rinsing it out. And when you do detailed design as I do, you don't want a speck in there. So that's quite important. So we have our coffin. So for coffin, we started at the back. For almond, we started at the front. For stiletto, you can probably guess it. We are also going to be starting at the front. And I'm just going to put a little blob on this one because it's very pointy. Make sure that's clean. And if you get it in the right position, you should have the walls the same height on each side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the sides and that little end. If there's any area you should really concentrate on when you do the stiletto and the almond, it's these corners. Because, oh, sorry, that was my postie. Bringing new goodies for you guys. Right, so that looks good. So yeah, what was I saying? So the biggest area I would say concentrate on when you do the stiletto and the almond is these corners, because we're starting from the other end. It's easy to not put enough gel in those two corners, and when you file and buff, you can just end up with a hole, and it's just a pain. I'm going to do what I did with the almond, make that a bit smaller, I'm creating that arch underneath. Now I want you to think about where you would be filing. So if you're going to start filing from here, because you want that apex to be like more flush, the gel needs to come down lower than where you're filing, right? If you have the gel stop here, then you can't file any lower. So you will lose that smooth transitional curve. I mean, it will still work, but it will be a chunky monkey. So I'm pushing down like that. Right, I'm going to cure that. Did anybody notice this when I was using the scissors? How did I miss that? Oh, I don't know. Oh well. Okay, we're going to top coat, and then we will do our square. Now the square is different. Well, it's not different, but we have more options. Okay, so the square, you can literally do either, depending on how you prefer to pour your glitter and stuff. Now, this is the same with the coffin. So the reason I like to do the back is because it's actually harder to cap the back when it's filled with liquid and glitter. So again, you can do both. But how much easier is it to do this right now, get the gel where I want it, than having to push it down and make sure it's low enough when I'm fighting against liquid? So that is why now I do it this way. You can do both. And I want you guys to play with both as well, because it is always personal preference more than anything. There's no right or wrong. There's just easier methods for you. I'll give that a little flash cure. And then the sides, the back, squeezing that gel. This gel is insane, you guys. It's no wipe as well, so it's just what you want for doing aqua nails. Our seabed base gel is also no wipe, so you want to use that if you're doing the one tip aqua nail method. This is the two tip aqua nail method. So there's two main ways of doing them. Both will give you different effects. They'll give you different effects. And I use both for different reasons. I mean, I do tend to use the two tip method the most. But that's just because I do like full nail scenes, you know. So can you guess the next shape in our signature nail tip? I think you'll probably all know what it is. Don't really need any on here, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. And cure. Guys, I can't remember it was this hot in the UK. If you're in the UK, and what's the date today? It's the 27th of May. This week. I'm not complaining though, okay, because, you know, we don't get a lot of it, so it's messy time. Right, so that is how I create tanks for all these different shapes. So play around with them all. I hope that helps. If you want to stay, I'm going to now fill the tanks up with our little experimental products. But yeah, I thought I would just do this first in case you just want to learn this bit. So yeah, let's move on to what we're putting inside. So there we have our 4 tanks. What we're going to actually do is pull out the little plugs, and I didn't have any gaps on these. I was super lucky, and as you can see, there's like no dust, which is exactly what the plugs are for. And if you do get some, another tip, do this upside down, so you're dragging any bits out that could be around the hole down, like this. For example, we're not going to pull up, we're going to pull down. And I've got a little bit there, so I'm just going to give that a little brush. And the last one. Perfect. Okay, so I am going in with some kitchen roll because we are about to get messy. So of course we will be using my Ocean Drops solution. This is just unbeatable, guys. The stuff you can do with this, it's so versatile. I originally made it for all of my glitters that I sell, and then I discovered I could do moving characters inside. And so that is why it's now called the Ocean Drops solution, not just the Ocean Drops glitter solution. So, as always, I start by filling the tank up. And this is going to test for holes. It's also going to make it easier when we put in our product. Well, in this case, we're using this, which is going to be interesting. So let's get candy cane ready. I'm going to get so messy, aren't I? You know what I'm like. And this is a brand new pot. Okay. Why did I start with the red? I should have done this one last. Will this work? Will it not work? I think we'll know pretty early on if this is going to work or not. Well, I'm just going to take a teeny weeny amount and place that in. If this works, it's going to be so pretty. I'm just scared it's going to create like, it's going to like kind of join together. I need a mixing tool. If you're a regular, you know what I use to mix. I just take a tip and I just cut a piece of that and make a little stirring stick. Okay, let's give that a stir. I mean, maybe I should have painted the nail. Oh. Hold on, let me bring the light in. Ooh, that is really pretty. It doesn't move like the glitter though. I suppose because it's so much lighter. Like my my Ocean Drop solution was invented for glitter, and glitter is very, very, very light. So when you're using charms and stuff, a lot of people will use oil because it's thicker. Whereas if you put charms in my solution, because of the weight, they're probably just gonna to the bottom. So the Ocean Drop solution was made for that reason, and it was to keep the glitter up, flowing up because it's so light. But this, because this is even lighter, we have less movement. So let me just shake that. So it is really, really pretty. But what I think we need to make it move would be some glitter or some charms, or pearls. It just needs something heavy to create that movement. I think that's enough of the chrome. So the chrome does work, but I'm going to say, I mean, look at that. I'm just going to say you need something in there to help it move. So let me grab something. So I was just going to use some clear caviar beads, but I think they might be a little bit too big now for my design. I'm just going to use some of these. I'm just going to chuck them in. And we really just want to see if it makes the chrome move about here. That's all. I probably could have put the thicker clear ones in, to be fair. Now I'm looking at it. Let's give that a little shake. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. The problem is no, they're getting stuck. Okay, that didn't work. It is gorgeous though if you get it moving, look. So what I'm going to do is on the next one, I'm going to use the chrome with some glitter and see if that works. Right, so let's do the almond. And I'm hoping this one will work because I want it for my Thumbelina set. So we're going to do mistletoe. Yeah, mistletoe, and we're going to do golden tide. So they're two different glitters. This one's a lot more earthy, and this one's actually got like holographic flakes inside. So yeah, maybe this will be the trick. We'll see. Right, let's start with our ocean drops. I don't know if mistletoe is going to be too dark. I'm a little bit worried now I'm looking at it. Do not want any of that red on here. Okay, let's do, I think maybe less is more when you do the chrome. Because look how much I put in and look how long that goes. Can you see how light it is? It's just delicately staying at the top. I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm just going to do that tiny little scoop. And then let me clean this again because I don't want to get it in my glitter pot. Let's go in with Golden Tide. So this is part of my sea salt collection. There's 10 different colours of this range available. And let's put in, we're going to do the same amount first. Oh, that's immediately helping it move. Let's do a bit more. I'm just putting it in ever so slowly because I'm experimenting and I'm using 2 items. I don't know the ratio yet, so you can see how it's moving more. I can't believe how far the holographic powder goes. Right, yeah, look, you can see it moving now. It's working. I'm going to try and turn it upside down, hold the hole really tightly and shake, and then put it back that way before I show you. Oh, that's looking pretty. Well, that's definitely a way to get it moving. Just wish the holographic would stay around the center first. I honestly think I put even too much. Ooh. Okay. So basically you need the same amount as glitter as what you would normally use and a tiny pinch of the holographic. Yeah, that's looking gorgeous. I'm going to try and shake it now because I can see it's separating. You know what I'm going to do first? I'm just going to pop in a drop more. So that is like an ultra bright gold. Just by adding a tiny bit of the holographic pigment. So yeah, that could be a fun new thing, you know. So we're going to compare that gold one we just did by using just the glitter Golden Tide, and I'm going to show you the difference when they are next to each other, so you can just see what you prefer. Can you see now why I closed up that wall a little bit? Like, you really don't need it, the width of the tip, you know. And I'm stirring as I go. So I would definitely say this one is a lot brighter on its own, but it really depends what effect you're looking for, and that is the beauty of experimenting with these tanks and just putting whatever you want in. Right, I'm going to say that that is enough. I'm going to let that slowly sink. While that's sinking, I'm going to clean up this area. Okay, so I have just capped the ends of these, and I'm going to give them a really, really hard shake, and we're going to compare. Okay, so this one is the chrome and glitter. This one is just the glitter. Two very, very different effects. This one, I think I've put way too much glitter in. And this one, it kind of separates, so I'm not sure. I think I just prefer the plain... Oh, I think I just prefer the plain glitter, but let me know which one you guys like in the comments. Okay, so now we're moving on to our color changing glitter. We're going to be doing Sweet Sorbet, which is yellow, as you can see, and it goes kind of greeny, bluey, turquoisey, I would say. So again, I'm going to go in with my... These have a child lock on, by the way, so they cannot physically spill. You've got to push down. Look at all that foamy goodness. That is all the ingredients that are in there. Okay. We're gonna fill this up. I'm just kind of doing it on the corner so it bounces off that wall. And then I'm going to make sure this is dry after you've washed it as well. We're going to take Sweet Sorbet. I think anyone who has nail clients are going to be obsessed with these. Even if, like, you just do a French, like, you know, you do acrylics and you just do, like, the French tip or something like that. And, you know, they're on holiday and they have yellow glitter nails and then they just go outside and they're a different colour. Like, what? They're just so fun. Okay. These are really cool because they have small flakes and larger flakes, which is really, really fun compared to my other glitters. So you'll notice that usually the bigger ones will fall first, but when you shake them, it creates a really cool whirlpool because it has those different weights. And yeah, I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to fill this up. I don't want to do too much. But they do have kind of a transparency to them. If you've ever used my color changing pigments, then you'll know about that. And it has to have a form of transparency when it changes color. I'm not sure what the ingredient is, but that ingredient is what flickers between the two, whether it's heat activated
cold activated or light activated. So they always have to kind of have that kind of see-through effect. So if you did want to do this on a client, I would definitely suggest doing it on top of a color. Like for this one, you could do maybe just on top of a white, and then the nails are going to look glittery yellow, and then in the sun they're going to look glittery green. I'm going to put some more in. I think I lost a bit of my solution there. Yeah, I did when I shook it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that back up because my glitter is struggling to reach. I'm getting caught in between the glitter and the foamy areas. I should really use a little stirrer for this, I think. And I think my spoon is a little bit too big. And you can see the mess. The mess is just unavoidable sometimes when you're doing aqua nails. Now I do like to go about a quarter of the way up, but it's hard to tell when you've got all this just sat bobbing around in that froth. And if you're wondering what the froth is, that is actually the agent that keeps these this solution sterile. So without that, over time this will form mold. If you're just using water, you're going to form mold. If you're using water and vegetable glycerine, it will be great for a while, but over time you will create a lovely little aquarium for mold. So yeah, we actually have agents in this that will avoid that. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm gonna get this out the way so that I can fill it up. That was a messy one, huh? I'm gonna keep filling. I'm gonna keep squeezing because I want all that froth out. Did you see that? Just letting it fall out. It's absolutely fine. Saves me scooping it out, you know? Right. Now let's take away a little bit so that we can cap the ends. Okay, so here is the glitter when it's yellow. Now watch the transformation. It's gonna change quickly back to yellow because I am sat indoors. But if you look at the color, the second I take the lamp away, that is what they will look like the whole time you're outside. Now watch it change straight back to yellow before your eyes. I'm sorry, these are just the funnest thing ever. I hope this tutorial has helped you when it comes to creating the tanks, depending on which shape you're using, because they can be slightly different. And some are trickier than others. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.